today's video is dedicated to the OG breast implants. Hello, you guys. It's been so long since I've made a video. Welcome back to my channel if you are not new here, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Shay. I basically talk about pretty much whatever I want on my channel. The inspiration that started my channel was my breast implants and how they were making me sick and my whole journey with breast implant illness. I have videos that I will link down below on that topic, and it goes hand in hand with today's video. It's been almost 2 years, you guys, since I've gotten my breasts explanted. It was the best decision I ever made, but I thought it would be really fun to do things that I wish that I had known before I got my breast implants out. And surprisingly, none of them are really bad. If anything, they've brought me to where I am now, to who I am now, to so much more discovery about myself and things that I needed to dig down deep and really think about and talk about too. So today's video is dedicated to the OG breast implants. RIP wherever they are. Hopefully they're in the trash, as long as they're far away from me. So without further ado, this video is 5 things I wish that I had known before I got my breast implants out. So May of 2019, I officially had my breast implants taken out. It was a doctor in Jacksonville, Florida. At the time I lived in Tampa, so it was just, I think it was a 2-hour drive straight up the coast. Dr. William Wallace in Jacksonville, Florida. He did a great job. He took really good care of me. Everybody in that office was so sweet, so supportive, and it also helped that he somewhat believed in breast implant illness as well. So I got them taken out. There were a couple things that I thought were fixed because I got my breast implants taken out, and looking back now, I'm gonna say that it wasn't fully my breast implants that fixed those things. So number 1, I wish I had known that my autoimmune disease would not disappear. In my symptoms video, I talked about having Raynaud's. I am already predispositioned to autoimmune diseases. They are genetic, they run in my family. If anything, I think that although it didn't cause it, it definitely exacerbated my Raynaud's. I still have Raynaud's. It's only when I'm cold. I know some people get it when they're stressed out. I don't get that. It's just when I'm very cold. This was a tricky one for me because I already knew that I had Raynaud's. Around 16 is when it first started to show up. But I did notice that when I had my breast implants, it was exacerbated. They were always turning white. They were always numb. But now, almost 2 years later, I still have Raynaud's. It didn't just disappear because I got my breast implants taken out, but I will say that it's a lot more controlled. And with that being said, I live in a colder climate, which my Raynaud's is activated. I don't know which word. My Raynaud's gets stronger in the cold, and so coming from Florida where it was very warm and I still had Raynaud's, looking back, I had the white numb fingers more so in Tampa than I do here. I can say that it's not fully gone. It's never fully going to be gone. It's an autoimmune disease, and that's just something that I have to learn to deal with and handle as I go along with my life. It usually just means wearing gloves, keeping my hands in my pockets, making sure I'm properly dressed so that I'm not too cold. And I am cold all the time, but for the most part, 80% of my life is spent being freezing cold. Number 2, I wish that I had known that my acne would come back. This used to be a really sensitive topic for me. I went through a very weird phase where I had beautiful, beautiful skin at age 22, And within 6 months, it turned into this disaster of cystic acne, a yeast infection, like a candida overgrowth on my face. And it really was earth-shattering to me. I really had a very hard time coping with it. I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't go to the gym. I was constantly thinking about it. And people who have acne can really understand what I'm talking about. And people who don't, they don't really tend to understand how severely acne can impact your life. And for me, it took a very hard toll on my mental health. And luckily, where I'm at now, I am so much more able to cope with it versus when I first had it. And it's also partially and related to me knowing what I can and cannot eat. So if you are prone to breakouts and you think that eating certain foods can cause it, I would definitely recommend getting a food sensitivity test. For me, I used to be able to eat cheese and drink milk and have ice cream and have heavy mashed potatoes with cream in them, and nothing would happen to me. And now that I'm 26, my stomach hates it, my face hates it, my body hates it. There are several other things that I cannot have that I know now that cause a reactivity both in my gut, and then it ends up coming out on my skin. So with that being said, I'm really excited because I am also making another video about my journey with a holistic doctor. It's been something that I've really wanted to do for a long time, and I know the privilege that holds and that I have being able to afford a holistic doctor, because I know that most insurance companies do not cover holistic doctors. I'm very grateful that I'm able to talk to somebody who isn't going to shove Accutane in my face, who isn't just going to keep shoving birth control in my face. And so that's another adventure that I will be documenting. So I hope that goes well too, but I know and am very aware that most people don't have the means to see a holistic doctor, which in my opinion is very sad and very disheartening, because while conventional and Western medicine can be great and is great in most circumstances, I think that treating something holistically is also an incredible option that should be given to a lot of people, and it's really not, and it's really sad and upsetting to know that a lot of people can't afford that. So with that, we are looking at my overall body, and I'll be documenting that in another video, which I am very excited about. I must be talking so much, my throat's so dry. Okay, number 3. I wish that I had known that I was going to love my body even more than I did with breast implants. So this has been something that has taken a long time to get to. I think especially now in this generation of social media, of constant advertisements, of these standards that society puts on especially women and how they should look, is devastating to your mental health. I think it's very important that we stop and acknowledge that and recognize that. It really started with my acne, because I had always been so proud of my skin, of how I looked. I really put a lot of pride into my appearance. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I put too much pride into my appearance. I began to form very unhealthy thought patterns on what I pinned my worth on. So for me, my worth was how I looked, how I appeared to other people. That was definitely my physical body, how I looked. I was obsessed with the gym to the point where it was very unhealthy. I was restrictive eating. I did not have a healthy relationship with my body. I did not have the mental health that I do now. And thinking back to literally the night before, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I was laying in bed in the hotel room, I think 6 hours from me being in surgery, and I was laying there terrified. I was absolutely terrified. I had read stories about how women hated how they looked. I had read stories about that they were deformed, that they hated their bodies even more. Me being in the mental place that I wasn't helpful for those thoughts, and then me on top of that reading those thoughts was really difficult for me. I was so worried that my body would be disproportioned again. I got breast implants to proportion my body in the first place. I was terrified laying there, and I wish that I was in the mental state that I am now to be able to sit there in bed and be like, you're gonna be fine. Your worth is not in what you look like. Your worth is not in your body. And you're not here on this planet to look any certain way, to please any certain person. You were here for a greater reason, and I wish that I could have told myself that. I have learned to love my body for what it does, forgive myself for all that I put it through. I'm able to look into the mirror and see how far I've come, what my body has put up with. I thank my body continually. I fuel my body. I eat so much more than I did. I have had to reframe the way that I think about the gym. I've had to reframe about the way that I think about eating to make it so that my mental health around all of that is not consumed with it, is not obsessed with it. I know that if I'm hungry, I need to eat. I don't need to drink 10 gallons of water to suppress my appetite. I don't need to do detox teas. I don't need to starve myself to look a certain way. I've learned, and I know my body enough, that if I keep telling myself no, I will binge. So what I do is if I want a donut, I'll have a donut. It's revolutionary, you guys. I'll have a donut. I won't feel guilty about it. I'll move on with my life, and I won't think about it. Number 4, I wish I would have known that having my breasts explanted was more painful than having them implanted. It was rough. If you guys want to see that journey, that's gonna be linked down in the description box. Yeah. They had placed in drains, which really just skeeved me out. I'm glad that I had drains, because if I didn't have drains, all that fluid would have collected in the titty area, and it would have been bad. I would have had to go back into surgery. And they wouldn't take them out until I had reached a certain number, and it was like a magic number, and they wouldn't tell me the number, which makes sense now because I would have easily lied and said, oh yeah, I hit that number in the drains. It's not worth it to put myself under surgery to get breast implants just 2 years later to take them out, you know. And you have to replace your breast implants anyways. I mean, I know some people don't, but it's recommended that you do. So I would have had to replace them every 10 years, and that's like a $20,000 surgery, because I'm pretty sure TRICARE isn't gonna continually cover that. I think for me, it was just not worth it to even get them in. And it was a lot more painful. I was way more sore. I carried a lot of tension in my shoulders. Surprisingly, the scars are the same size, I think because my implants weren't so big that he didn't have to make a larger incision as most women had to get. But I do now have like drain scars, and they really don't bother me. And number 5, I wish that I had known that even though that I was incredibly terrified and mortified, that it would be the best decision that I'd ever make. Getting my breast implants out has really changed the game for me. It really challenged me to look deeper in myself and to figure out where my self-esteem issue really stemmed from. Basically just have a healthier relationship with my body. And I think that is my favorite thing that I took away from getting my breast implants out. something that I didn't even think that I was gonna gain from losing something. So if you are someone who has breast implants or are thinking about getting breast implants, I highly recommend that you talk to your doctor. Talk to women in your life who have breast implants. Join a Facebook group. I'll link the one down in the description below of the one that I found when I was on my journey through looking at breast implant illness. I think it's just really informational for whoever is thinking about it, or if you know someone who's thinking about it. Ultimately, it's your decision. Do whatever you want. It's your body, your choice. I completely believe in that and I respect that. But if this video can help anybody, at least think twice about it or do their own research, I feel like I'll be able to sleep a little better at night. So that is pretty much it. That's the 5 things that I wish that I'd known. Like I said, honestly, it was the best decision that I made. I'm excited to do more videos on my journey with the holistic doctor, so look out for those in the future because they will be coming soon. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Oh, I'm sorry. Mama woke you up. You wanna say bye? You always make an appearance. Say, I was sleeping and you woke me up. You love me. Say thank you for watching. Say I'll see you in another video, and I'll be sleeping in that one too.